Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa and I am your cruise director on the Magical Mystery Tour today. We are cold, hence my dressing gown which has makeup on it. We've got a full face of Rimmel today, but before we get to that, you know the drill by now. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell to be alerted to any new upload, and if you like this video at the end, please give it a big thumbs up. So, it is cold. We're in the bowels of winter. It is early in the morning. It is dark over my shoulder. I've pretty much got one of everything. I had to grab just a couple of things to complete the look. I do have 4. Which one I'm going to use, I don't know. They were already in my collection. But we are going to start, oh God, I'm cold. We are going to start with what has been obviously one of my favourite products this year. I have used this so much, lost my mind when it came out. The Rimmel Multitasker Better Than Filters Primer. This stuff is good. I love it. I think I've got the shade Fair Light. Beautiful big doe foot applicator. Again, this is illuminating primer. Of course, I love them. Should be very soon. I've just got to find the time to do a video comparing all of these primers to each other. Just rubbing that in. Fine to use your hands. This, typical of all of them, it's a little bit hydrating, a little bit of glow, a little bit of coverage. This combined with Maybelline Skin Tint is incredible, but this looks good under most foundations in any case, though I haven't tried it under the foundation I'm about to use. Going in now with, I love this. This is the Kind and Free Skin Tint. All the shades, obviously, I cannot read them. I want to say 160. I can't read it. All the shades will be listed down in the product description. This is a beautiful skin tint. It's just enough coverage. So like all skin tints with skincare ingredients, skin improving. I'm going to use, it's not super thick. This is probably a little bit dark for me now in winter. Oh, no. It's not, which is great. I thought it was going to be. Oh, even using this, let me tell you, my sponge is cold. And I don't like it. I know a lot of my looks tend to look very full coverage. And I vary between it, certainly. You can build it up. But I used to wear nothing but full coverage, but I actually prefer skin tints. And this has got probably a bit more coverage than a lot. The Revlon Skin Tint, Mavala, the Revolution, which sits on my desk certainly. Skin tints for me, with the added benefits of the skincare ingredients, and that's just a bonus. It's not what I rely on to do my skincare, certainly. But it does allow, the coverage is not as full coverage as a lot of products that I can use with skin tints. I feel like it allows my skin to be seen through. And you can see that has evened it out quite a bit. I can still see my freckles. Sadly, I can still see my lines. Going in now with the concealer. Now this I have in a slightly peachier tone to sort of colour correct under my eyes. As you can see, like this is where I'm sinking down now. I don't really have discoloration, but rather than brightening under my eyes, this just sort of makes the tiny little bit of discoloration, and it's not really anything, but what it does is it evens out the depth perception under my eyes. It stops this looking so sunken in here. And just dabbing that in. I'm starting to really lean away from going bright under the eyes. Just a personal preference. I think I prefer how my eyes sit. I think it's actually more aging. I think it's more aging. I don't think super bright under eyes is flattering on my age. I do, however, like to set. So I have the Kind and Free pressed powder. I use this a fair bit. This is not new either, and I'm going in with a powder puff to start with, under the eye and around the nose. The T-zone areas where I like to use a puff. It just helps with the longevity, and whenever I go in, straight onto the back of the hand to work that in so it's not too much coming off. For the rest of the face now, going in with a brush. It's not as much powder. As you see, it taps off. But just setting that down. Now I don't have a setting spray to melt all of that in, so I'll be right back. I'm just going to do that off camera. I'll be right back and we'll start on the rest of it. I don't know if you can see, I've got a couple of lines here. I squished my pillow up last night, clearly, and still too early. They have not removed yet. Great, I love that for me. This is really old and I don't actually like this particular product, but it is the only version I have of it. It is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. Why don't I like it? It's the tone for me. Though I haven't used it in a long time, my opinion might change. Let's see. Trying to tap a fair bit off because it's quite red. It's almost like a clay shade. And I've used it enough to know before I knew better. So, oh gosh, that line. Smushy pillow. And I've realised that I probably would have put some hydrating patches on it or used a roller when I was moisturising. Had a bit of a restless night last night because of the cold. Okay, so look, truth be told, that's not looking too bad. Still not my favourite tone, but I think I've worn worse on this channel, in fact. Okay, a little bit on the nose now. As we know, if you wonder why I only do half this side, it's because my nose is collapsed up the top there. So I don't need to draw attention to that and make it look more pushed in. Okay, again from their Kind and Free range. Look, this range is really, really good. We have got, it's a cheek pop, I think, is what it's called. It's their blush. Tangerine Cream. So, going in. I like to put it on my hand to warm it up. You can apply direct to your face should you wish. I just think it gives you a more even application if you've warmed it up a bit first. You can see it's not too intense. It's a nice wash of colour. Now we are going in with their highlighter. She is quite intense, as you can see. Just over the edge, at the tops of the apples of my cheeks. Now when you put products on and you worry about them certainly initially being a bit too intense like this can be, just give it time to all melt in and settle into your skin, because normally what happens is after about half an hour, with products particularly like this, really melt in and become part of your skin. You can see she'll glow. Let's get some brows happening. I have 2 new products. I don't know if they're new or just new to me. So I have the Brow This Way Professional Pencil. It's a bit like some of the others. They seem to, in the masstige market and more affordable, seem to be going this way with this type of spoolie pencil on the end. It's a pencil, and it's quite a firm one, which is good. So I've got the shade Dark Brown. It's not too soft, so it gives you a bit of control. Okay, if you can hear a vehicle in the background, my neighbour's driveway is about 3 metres that way in actual fact. And they are out warming up their vehicle before heading to work themselves. She is a chef at a beautiful, beautiful manor house that is part of a winery. So this is quite a good pencil, I have to say. I've gone a little bit ham with it, but she doesn't tend to slip around. It even sharpened though, like this is the first time I'm using it, it hasn't given me brush strokes, but that's okay. I'm just filling in the brows. My brows are thick enough that I don't necessarily need brush strokes, but you have to press probably too firm to get brush strokes if you are after that. Okay, so now we have the Wonder Freeze Brow Lamination Gel. This is what I'm interested in. This comes in, I've got the shade Clear, but it comes in 3 tints, I want to say, like a blonde, a light brown maybe, and a very dark brown. So you've got the lamination brushes at one end, and then unscrew. I have a couple of products that I love, so this will be interesting. What I hate with these, so I've noticed with a couple of these, is because of how they have to fill them. Obviously with a tube that goes in there, and then this wand goes in, because it's a thicker product, because it's a lamination product. You're essentially pulling out a brush out of a hole. It doesn't seem to have, you have to wriggle your brush around because it doesn't seem to pick up anything otherwise. Even now, Oh yeah, it is on. It is on there. Trust me. It just doesn't feel like it. I mean, you can see. Hold on, look. It is brushing them up. Gosh, I need to trim them, don't I? I'm going to push them over because I have rogue hairs that are clearly a bit too long at the moment. So out of the 4 eyeshadow palettes that I have, I've just had a quick look online at Chemist Warehouse here in Australia, and these are the 2 that are currently available. They've still got 4 or 6, but these 2 don't look like they're on there at all. So we have the Electric Violet and the Jewel Rocks. The Electric Violet is really nice and purples, but given the cheek colour, given my lip colour that I've got here, I think I'm going to go in with this one. I have prepped my eyes with my Drugstore MAC paint pot. Now, where are we going to play today? Let's see. It'll be interesting. I think we're going to go in with this mustard. Could have gone in with the peach. May end up going in with the peach yet, but just gently. This is like an angled brush. Just tapping that along from the crease and up. I can see immediately, hazel eyes, immediately it's pulling out the mustard in my hazel and it's making my eyes change colour. Leaning more gold, which really makes me want to lean into that now. Just going in with a fluffy brush now into that same shade. Have I even used this? I don't even know if I've used this. I've had it such a long time. Okay, just fluffing it up and out. And the same, if you can see my rogue eyebrow hairs, I'm sorry. Okay. We're not going to go crazy with a heap of different colours today. I swear. Going to go in with this dark green. And just tuck it on the outer corner. And then into the crease and just wriggle back and forth. I'm allowing it to hide in my hood there while I do this. See, this is what a lot of people do. They've done that. She's gone. You see, zoom in. This looks a little bit patchy. We'll work with it. So we've just got to build the colour. Now, we'll just start to tickle around the edges. Looking straight ahead in your mirror, now you're starting to see that payoff. You're bringing it up above your crease when you have hooded eyes so that it doesn't, or even some people even with hooded eyes want to do this so that they can see their makeup better. And I've just been going, just working that right on the edge of it as I've slowly brought it up. Then I'm just on the edge back and forth really softly. I'm not going in really hard, just to soften that and blend it in. You can see it's really blended in lovely there. Same on the other side now. Tuck it in, wriggle back and forth just for now, just to get it where I want to. And this hasn't done it quite like the other side, so that's great. Now I can start to bring it up. You can see it's worked up itself quite easily. Now this is quite a deep, not really a forest green, sort of in that deep tealy. It's really pretty, but it's got a blue, quite the blue base showing through. Now you could go this way and enhance it off this shade here. We're going the other way, I think. We might do half of our eye with that gold and then bring in this. So using my finger. Somebody asked me the other day about, and I just sort of think everyone knows it, so I'm sorry if you don't and I haven't said anything. Obviously I have short nails, so I can use my finger. If you don't, put product onto a flat brush and spray it with some setting spray. And use that to pack on so that you get the intensity. It won't be quite as intense as using your finger, but you will still get that payoff, which you won't if you don't do that. Which you won't if you don't. Oh, she's good at English, eh? Right. So I've just brought that in. Now I want to work that in a little bit. So I've got some on a flatter brush, tapped it off because I don't need the intensity of it. I just want to soften that and make it a bit more cohesive. Back into your brush on the outer green and just pull that across on that join for the blend. You don't want a solid blend, you want it always to be a gradient. Now in the lighter shades we have down the end here these two. Let me tell you, this one on the end, she is a white gold, which I think my eyes are looking, that gold's really brought out my eyes. It's not my favourite shade, but I think I like it. Just going to bring a little bit of this in though. Just into that corner and blend up. Cleaning off the brush that I used to soften that gold blend, I'm now going to just tuck up into that white gold and tuck up here. If you can hear Jelly barking, she's straight outside the door. That dog has the heart of a Saint Bernard or a Husky. Because she loves the cold outside. And my neighbour, one of the other neighbours that lives in that house, is just walking around, so she's protecting the house from him. God love her. Eyeliner I have, before I do, underneath my eyes. I have the Rimmel Scandalise. It is in a bronzy shade. I cannot read it. It's covered in stickers. It's the only shade that I have, so it's what we're using. if I was not using all this brand, I would 100% pull out my Natasha Denona Macro Tech in the shade Camu, possibly, to really enhance it. Okay, so going in to that green, stamping in with a liner brush. Just, there's a bit of fluff on that, stuck me in the eye. Oh, it's still there. God. Okay, so I'm just stamping along. I don't want it to be too sharp or too thick, because I really want to blend this out and soften it. I'm going to use the mustard to do that. Essentially, this is just going to give a bit of depth to the mustard. Now I'm going to use this brush that I used on the inner corner, just into that mustard. As you can see, I'm not super fussy with brushes. So, see, and that's just given a nice tonality underneath the eyes and softened it out nice. Oh, I feel like the temperature's dropping even more. Why am I sitting here with no socks on or slippers or anything? My feet are frozen. Going in now with a smaller brush, flat brush, into that white gold on the edge as our inner corner highlight, just adding a bit more to where we were and bringing it down and underneath the eye to make it cohesive. One of my work colleagues has watched, who's the same age as I am, has watched a few of my videos, and she goes, I just think, I don't know how you have, I don't have the time to do that. I am a lot faster when I, as I've told her, a lot faster when I am doing this for myself. Also, we all know how I do my hair, which is that I don't. It's either just air dried and scrunched, or it is pulled back. Chrissy, if you're watching, has flawless hair. Has flawless hair. I do not have the time nor the inclination to be able to do that. I don't know where she finds the time, but it looks gorgeous all the time. My lips are not going to match my eyes, people. I'm a bit concerned about that. I am just going to spray down my face first and set it one last time before I do my lips and eyes. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about my lips. Now, the only lip products that I have from Rimmel at the moment that I could find was one of the Exaggerate lip pencils. She's pink, which doesn't mean it's a bad colour. It's just not, it's not matching what I've got on. I feel there may be a need to try and hunt out something to tone down the pink behind it. What I will say with this, their lip liners are super, super, super creamy. So, which is the whole point, is to telling you my opinions on them. Super creamy. I have just wiped that out just to make it look like, essentially, I think I got this shade because it looked like my lips. Now I have the Kind and Free Balm. I can't even read the shade on this again. Oh, this might save us. I will look it up and I'll list the colour in the description box. It's a tinted lip balm. Super juicy. Super hydrating. With a hint of colour. Look, I can work with that shade. I was really worried I was going to have to add something with a heat, more warmth to it. Still possibly should. But it's the lip balm. Super juicy. Mascara, we are nearly down to the end. The Wonder Bond Serum Mascara. This is new. I haven't tried it. I was going to grab a different one, but when I saw this, was like, this is what I have to try. And I want to read about it from their site. They had a couple of shades. I got black and there was brown black. This might not be new overseas, but I do think that it is in Australia. The Rimmel Wonder Bonding Serum Mascara instantly revitalises lashes in one swipe for longer, smoother and healthier looking lashes. Powered by biotin bonding complex with up to 350% more volume. See, they cover themselves by saying up to. Inspired by bond repair serums, Rimmel's unique formula visibly improves lash quality. Biotin bonding complex for ultimate length and strength creates a protective barrier around lashes, helps protect against lash breakage during mascara removal, up to 24-hour wear, smudge-proof, clump-free and flake-free, with a precision brush to coat and lift even the shortest lashes from root to tip. Cruelty-free vegan formula, long live lashes. Thing with bonding mascaras, with I couldn't think of the word with tubing mascaras, is you want them to really coat it. You don't use it like a normal mascara. You really do have to wriggle it, and you do have to give it that little bit extra time just at the root. So hold it there, wriggle it a little bit back and forth, then slowly bring up. Now, it looks like I've done 3 coats. It's 1 coat if it's in 1 dip, but also to get all of them. Look, it doesn't look bad. We'll see. It feels, this is really funny, right? I can tell you that it feels hydrating. Isn't that weird? I've never really thought about it with the mascara. So now that I've done that first coat down right at the roots, I can get into for this second coat. You can actually feel like your lashes are hydrated, and I've never noticed that with the mascara before. You can feel when they're wet, obviously, but I want to say it feels like you can feel the skincare. Oh, it's not skincare, but you can feel the care ingredients in it. They're looking a little clumpy. I am just going to go and get dressed for work, and I will be right. Okay, I am ready for the day. It's cold, I'm rugged up. This eyeshadow has really enhanced my hazel eyes. I think it's made the ring around them, the green's made the ring around them look quite dark. These golds have really pulled out that gold from in it, so I may need to use that. Keep it out and use it a bit more. I'm really happy with where it's at the moment. I am going to check in at the end of the day as per usual, so I will see you right away. Bit later. Hey, we are back at the final check-in. I don't have all my lights on. Hold on. See, that gives it a bit of a blowout given this time of night. So I'm just turning off the center one. Couple of thoughts. It is now 5:47. So my makeup's been on over 10 hours. Cheers, it's Friday night after all. A few thoughts around it is the foundation shade is my summer shade, not my winter shade. As a result, I have a little bit of whiteness look here, and I feel a bit too orangey. I kept thinking my blush is too orange. 100% it's that bronzer that I don't like, that I already said I didn't like. The bronzer is just too orange because I have worn this blush before on its own and loved it. This is how my eye makeup has worn. after that time. I do have, if we zoom in a bit, I'm looking a bit dark under the eyes in that I look like I didn't put, and you saw I didn't put any mascara on the bottom half. Yet I'm looking dark under here. So there's been a bit of transfer and a bit of bleed. I have got a little bit of chunka. Let's see if I can find. Just trying to find an eyebrow brush. Okay, I've got a spoolie. I've got a little bit of fibre there, but I've got it creasing under here. I don't worry about the nose marks from my glasses because that's standard. I've had them on all day. Other than that, my muzzle is where it is worn off. I have been leaning on my desk like that, though, truth be told. The balm, nice shade, bit drying though. While it feels really juicy on the lips, over the course of the day, the reapplying feels like it sucks some of the moisture out. Though I have had that for a while, maybe that's why I didn't reach for it. Other than the foundation being the wrong shade, it is a beautiful foundation. If you have used it, you will know what I mean. For the price, it's a skin tint foundation, so it is great. I still really like this shade for, I mean, she's creased. That's the issue that I have with it. I don't have that creasing on my higher end brands. But as far as the tones of it, I really, really like it. And I wish it would stay put so that I would be happier. But it's just the gold that I had right across the lid here has completely dissipated. That's one of the things that can happen in cheaper eyeshadows. If you're okay with it looking like that after this amount of time, that's great. I'm really disappointed in that myself personally. Probably explains why I haven't reached for it, because at the end of the day, my higher end ones will still have the full opacity when we put this on as to what that is when you look at it on the other side. There's a big difference, isn't there? I tend to lose colour from my face more than I do my eyes, but there is a big difference between them. So, good for a pharmacy brand, these eyeshadow palettes. Not great for longevity. I still think in this instance, I haven't had this sort of creasing happen with Revolution eyeshadows, for example, on the good ones, like the palettes that are about this big. So, if you can find a colour story, that really bugs me. Thank God these sorts of shades I have in other palettes in any case. For the price, you'd be better off with the Morphe Ready in 5 $11 5 eyeshadow palette. If you're okay with clay toned bronzer, I'm a bit oompa loompa in real daylight because of this. Everything else is fine. Like I said, the lip balm ended up feeling like it dried my lips out by the end of the day. I kept reapplying it. Looked beautiful, felt juicy, felt really plush and plumpy, but that constant, and that's not a straight to Rimmel issue. That is an issue that can happen across a lot of balms. If you know what it is with them, where they can draw out moisture as opposed to putting moisture in, you know what I mean. But base product, get rid of the bronzer. The whole kind and free range, I really, really like. The mascara, I'll play with it again to see if this darkness under the eyes is caused by the mascara or could have been caused by what I'm wearing on my face today, because I nearly bought the kind and free mascara instead of this one, but I thought this is a fibre one. I'll see how it comes off after. It should just wriggle like warm water, wriggle, come off. But that is it. This is 10.5 hours wear. Let me know what you think. As I said, it's that bronzer. The bronzer did me in. I think I'd like my face if I used a different bronzer. That is it. Until next time, don't forget, tell your mum, tell your sister, tell your friends to come along and subscribe to my channel. I will see you tomorrow when we will have, most likely, yep, I know for a fact, another Natasha Denona mini palette. Bye.